Hi everyone, Bob here, and welcome to The Perfect Drink, where if you're going to make a drink, make it the perfect drink. Well, a few years back, a friend of mine asked, Bob, do you have a holiday recipe for a gingerbread martini? And I had to be honest and say, no, I've never made one, but let me give it a few tries at it and see if I can come up with something that I would serve to my guests. Well, 4 years later, here we are, and I tried many different things. I tried, different store-bought gingerbread syrups. I tried making with the gingerbread cream, that you could buy in the store during certain holidays. I tried different liqueurs that had flavors that would mimic a gingerbread type of flavor, and none of them worked. So this year, never give up, never surrender. I said, let's give this another go, but with a different twist. And that twist was I'm going to approach this like I'm baking. I like to bake, and I said, well, why not make a simple syrup with all the ingredients that would be in a gingerbread cookie, really let it simmer, let it concentrate, get those flavors at a point where even after I add my other ingredients, it's not going to water it down. And that was the problem in the past, was after I mixed everything together, the gingerbread flavor disappeared because it just got too watered down. So what I did was this year is I made a gingerbread simple syrup that basically has in it 2/3 cup of water, a 1/4 cup of molasses, a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and then the other things that you would think would be in a gingerbread cookie. 3 cinnamon sticks, a tablespoon of whole cloves, a tablespoon of allspice, all these things I put in there, and then including a whole ginger root that I peeled and then diced up very fine and put it in there. And then I let this simmer on the stovetop for about 25 minutes, really concentrated those flavors. And then right at the end, as I took it off to let it cool, I mixed in a teaspoon of vanilla and, just to give it a little bit of hint of that in the background. And then let it cool, strained it, and then I had my gingerbread simple syrup. Totally made the house smell great, and I tell you what, it made a wonderful gingerbread martini. So we're gonna make one today with Stoli vanilla vodka. You can also use like absolute vanilla, Bailey's Irish cream, Cointreau to add a hint of orange flavor, cream or half and half. You can use even heavy cream if you don't mind the calories, and orange bitters. And one of the other things I threw in that saucepan, just as a reminder, was I also took orange zest and zested up a tablespoon of that and put it in. So all those flavors, it was kind of like I was baking that simple syrup to make a gingerbread cookie, and the result was phenomenal. So with the vanilla vodka, we want 2 ounces. So I'm putting that in my cocktail shaker that's already full of ice. We're gonna make this just like a martini, just serve it straight up in a glass, and this glass is rimmed with, what I did was, there's a couple ways to garnish this one. You can either smash up some, I used the Pepperidge Farm Gingerbread Men cookies, and then dipped it in orange juice, put it around the rim, or you can float one of these, put a little dollop of whipped cream. I'll show you that one in my picture, and then let the gingerbread man float on top. So you'll see that in the picture. So 2 ounces of the vanilla vodka. Then we're going to have 1 ounce of Bailey's. And then I am going to add my simple syrup, which is very thick because, as I said, it was very concentrated. So what I do with this one is I want 1 ounce of the simple syrup, put that in there, and then an extra 1/4 ounce. So in total, 1 1/4 ounces of simple syrup. And then we're going to put in 1/2 ounce of Cointreau. Like I said, I'm trying to get a little bit of that orangey flavor in the background. And then we're going to add, for creaminess, and again, you can use heavy cream, or I'm using half and half. So 1/2 ounce of that. And again, just to give it a little bit of that orange in the background, 3 dashes of orange bitters. And there are all my ingredients. So you shake it up. Once you have it all nice and cold, just pour it in your martini glass that's frosted. This one is not, but like I said, I told you about the garnish of the Ginger Man cookies. And it's got a beautiful, nice tan color. You could see the molasses really gave it some good coloring. And there you have it. Finally, after 4 years, a proper gingerbread martini. So let's take a taste. Now that is a perfect drink. So cheers everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving and that you're going to enjoy the holiday season. And until next time.